Hello, happy people. I hope that you are just having an absolutely amazing day today. One of the best you've ever had in your life. And if not, hopefully it will be at least top 10 by the end of today. Alrighty, so for my video game Wednesday, where I record video games of older eras, typically and such, I'll have sometimes done one a week or two after it was released if I was playing them. I like to do some older stuff. For the 12 year anniversary 2 weeks ago, I did Don't Starve, and it's a standalone multiplayer expansion called Don't Starve Together last week. Also, that was in its anniversary because it was also released in April too. I thought it would be fun now for me to knock out a movie that doesn't always get a lot of modern critiques and that sort of a thing. It's probably not much of a cult classic like Evil Genius. And that sort of a thing, and that is the movies from 2005. So this is a video game sim. It's released in 8th of November in 2005. This is inspired by the movie making ideas and concepts and so forth. And there's a text sim out there called Hollywood Mogul. It's both because it's text sim. It doesn't have art. It doesn't have music or videos and that sort of a thing. It's just a text sim that this is also inspired by too. It's made by Lionhead Studios and designed specifically by Adrian Moore. It was programmed by James Brown, and the music is amazing here. Top notch, and it's by Daniel Pemberton and such. So this is not on Steam. It's not on GOG either, sorry. You can only buy it from in a disc form. And that sort of thing. Nobody's bought the rights of this. And that sort of thing, like Evil Genius. So you can actually buy those and that sort of thing. Metacritic though is a nice ranking at 84%. All right, so this game, you basically are building a movie studio. So all the different things that you would build in a movie studio, you're going to build here too, like sets, different sets of different types, places to eat and drink, prepare for movies, right? And you'll start doing some pre-casting. Then you'll take up the sets with filming with all the stars, and then once you go into post-production and you get sets scheduled for release, and then it's done. And then those sets get freed up. Makes sense. And so you need a lot of different things on your set too. You'll need a script writing office where your writers can write blank script. There's also a custom one too where you can actually make your own script. Or you can edit a script that was given to you by the folks. Make sense? Alrighty, so you got to do a lot of those things. You'll also hire a number of staff, directors, extras, film crew, actors, writers, janitors, engineers, that are building things when you place them. They don't automatically be built, they have to get physically built by your engineers. And they'll also be the ones that repair things too and keep them in top shape. Movie sets that are not in top shape are going to hit your rankings when they're released, so you need to keep them up. Great stuff. So you need to keep doing well with salaries, so and such, in order to keep them up and that sort of thing. Alrighty, so you can give your staff plastic surgery, change their outfits and such, and as well as the manager's salary, in order to make them better and happier people. So there's a lot of different staff management things you have to do. You can also hire them an entourage too, which will only just be sitting around them, but you have to pick one of your precious pre-staff in order to do it. So stars have a ranking, and the higher their ranking is, and this isn't just for your studio, but all studios, so the higher the ranking is, then the more they demand, right? And so, for example, if you give them a salary increase to make them happy, then your other stars that might get a little jealous too. So once you get the top star and that sort of thing, you just release a big movie, make a lot of money. So their angry sides are showing up. So you give them more salary, but they also get the fifth star too on maybe a director too. They're also in the film. Right? They may drop if you don't also give them a salary increase too. Stars are very expensive as they get better. Just a heads up. All right, so you have to give your stars a place to rest, hang out, trailers for them to go live in. You'll assign them to. And then for to eat and drink and that sort of thing. All right, makes sense. You also have to decorate your lot too with things like trees and fountains and benches and that sort of thing. And so you got to make it nice and pretty too. Also, if you don't have a nice and beautiful trailer, they won't like it as much, and it will drop them. So your trailer needs to be pristine, 5 out of 5. All right, so every 5 years there is an Oscar-style award show. The winners of that will then get boosts until the next 5 years is up. All right, so for example, if a star won an award, they might get better results or less likely to get fatigued and that sort of thing. So you can absolutely work them like a workhorse that they should be, right? Makes sense. All right. There are also studio awards too. For example, there's one for the best looking lot that I like to win, which, if I recall correctly, helps you with tech stuff, which also can also lead you to doing research. You can also research. You'll get various packs, like a war pack and that sort of thing. They'll unlock outfits or sets, or decorations and that sort of thing too. So you need to upgrade that stuff too. And then your movies are in 5 different genres: horror, sci-fi, romance, comedy, and action for you folks. Staff are good at those. At various ones, you can also train them by assigning them to a set. And each set is a set for a certain of those 5 genres. So if you want to train up somebody, you can move them physically to that set and then also sit there and train them up and sort of thing. As time moves on, various events are going to happen to help or hinder those 5 genres. There are other things too. For example, the Spirit of St. Louis Flying by Charles Lindbergh is one example. It's going to, I think, increase action films afterwards. That sort of thing. Make sense? Or the stock market will crash and it'll also hurt movies for a while. Make sense? All right, so in some ways, this was ahead of its time. The UI, the ability to make your own movies that you can see and watch reviews from, that sort of thing. And you can actually edit it, or in a script office, or just make your own scripts, although there are some limitations to it. And that's the thing, you also upload them and share them with others too. So there are some ways in which, but this is absolutely ahead of its time. But there are some other ways in which it feels a little of its time, like staff management can be a little tedious at times. Right. And that sort of thing. So I'd say it's an 8 out of 10 overall. Now, I've put hundreds of hours into this. I've actually done a few dynasties online, and that sort of thing, where I post all my videos, movies that I made, and that sort of thing, in a few different runs, and that sort of thing. So because this is just not something that you can go out and just buy and download from this place, you got to buy them in disc form, and that sort of thing. And it was designed for older systems too, so there are a couple of places that you can download things in order to get it to run on your modern system if you pick it up with this. And that's thing, I'm thinking about trying this out as my first Let's Play. And that's I haven't done Let's Play yet, but because of how I think it's so, particularly the early games, particularly strong. Love it lots, until you get the whole lot of entourage and staff. And that sort of thing. So I think it might be fun for me to use all those hundreds of hours I put into it, and that sort of thing, in order to do a Let's Play. And I haven't done a Let's Play either, and that sort of thing. If that's something that you're interested in, you think it'd be fun, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. So let me know what your thoughts are. Alrighty, there you go. So there you go. 8 out of 10 for you folks. The movie's from 2005 by Lionhead Studios. Alrighty, so there you are. So, as a reminder, I do a lot of video game reviews on this Wednesday, so if you like that, check them out. Again, typically older things like Star Control 2 or Evil Genius 1, those sorts of things. But I sometimes do some recent things too. On Monday, I do reviews of older things. I just did B2s from 79 by Gary Gygax from the Dungeons & Dragons. Actually, it's back me. I did Keep on the Borderlands, and I also did recently a bunch of older things. I did some of his stuff too, from 78, the Against the Giants series, and did a lot of those older things too. And also there's some Battletoads stuff too on Mondays. And then I also do some things on Friday. I do some top 10s. I did recently top 10 musical artists and albums. Last week I did my top 10 comics, so you can check this out. And this week I'll be doing my top 10 mini-series, because I consider my top 10 comics to be ones that were continuing, not a limited one like Secret Wars. On Saturday, I do my top 10 serial Saturdays. Something I call it, because we have forgotten. So, and this is a great example of that. We have forgotten a lot of the movie movie serials and TV serials, due to a lesser degree. We've sort of forgotten them. And that storytelling method from this older era, and that sort of a thing. So if you like that, check them out too. And in fact, movies, you probably like that too. I just did the last couple of weeks Tarzan, the Fearless, Tarzan, the Tiger, and the New Adventures of Tarzan from 29 in the Silent Era and 35. And those are kind of the last 2 Tarzans, and that sort of a thing. And I also recently did Doctor Who season 1 and 2, and then I also just have done on Saturday, and this will get posted up there. It's from the 52. This is the Black Hawk comic from DC, and it's basically a serialization of that. And that sort of a thing, and it's called. So if you like that, I'm also next week I'm going to be doing Daredevils. I think it's a Republic serial. I'm moving more into flying. I think it'd be nice to do that. But I've done Buck Rogers, Pulp, Flash Gordon, the Captain. I'm interested in Captain Marvel. I've done a lot of different popular pulps during that era. So check them out too. And then so those are things. And then I try to do 3 reviews a week of these older sort of storytelling, like novels or books or short stories or novellas, or sometimes even poems or prose poems, right? In the 3 genres that we cover: science fiction, horror, and fantasy for you folks. Alrighty, so there you are. So if you like those 7 things for you folks, definitely, and you like those older things too, definitely check out my all the YouTube stuff. Like hit the subscribe button, the like button, share with your friends, and then hit the bell icon to be notified of those 7 videos a week, right? But basically the key ways of growing this channel is just to watch and share. We're still not monetized with the channel, right? So anything you can do to do that would be helpful. Alrighty, so there you are. Thanks so much. As you can tell from all those older things, that's also where the title of this channel comes from too. The worst thing about new books. That's a quote by a French philosopher named Jacques Joubert, who said that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old ones, right? It's definitely some older stuff we might have forgotten about. Or in this case, we would have played them in 2005, but then we sort of forgot about it. It's not really, a classic like Evil Genius in the Cult Areas or something. I don't hear anybody talking about the movies, but I think it's pretty good stuff. All right, so there you are. So if you like those older things, check them out. This channel. It's also my #1 strength of context. I like to learn a lot more things the more. So I like to learn. So when I saw Flash Gordon, I learned more about Star Wars and appreciated it more. Make sense? All right. So there. All righty. So I want to thank you so very, very much, for just taking some time out of your day and just investing it and watching my videos, right? Because we all have so many things that are happening, right, in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions, right? So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling. So thanks again. And have an amazing day. And thanks again. And what do you want me to start doing? Let's play the movies. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I'll also do them I think I might do them on Wednesday too when I do my video game reviews. And in addition to it. But you let me know. Or I could just do it daily too. So let me know what your thoughts are. Thanks again and have an amazing day.